Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And tomorrow, there's something very big happening for all crypto holders. Or actually, for anybody in the financial space, or actually anybody that invests. Tomorrow something's going to happen which can greatly impact your portfolio. And so you need to be made aware of it, all right? You need to know about this. You need to be able to prepare because tomorrow things might change severely. And so if you're a crypto holder, make sure you press the like button on this video. And let's dive right into what exactly I am talking about. As hopefully you guys are all aware of the situation. But tomorrow is the FOMC meeting, all right? The Fed's meeting where they talk about the interest rate. In 1 day and 4 hours from now, this is going to happen. And we don't know exactly what the number is going to be tomorrow, right? As of this point, we have ourselves some probabilities with the base points and what they expect for it to happen. But things can still change, right? But if you go over to the economic calendar and we quickly, we don't even have to refresh that one. We can see there's actually quite a couple of different decisions that are going to be very interesting to witness. We also on the 22nd have ourselves the Bank of England interest rate decision. But obviously the one we're most excited for is the one on the 21st. And you can see it right here. The Fed interest rate decision / FOMC economic projections. Both of these two, the interest rate decision for right now and basically the future of what we think is going to happen is ridiculously important. And also half an hour later, we have this Fed press conference. Usually a couple of very important things are also discussed in there, but I'm going to be trying to live stream this tomorrow, guys. Now, as you can see here, we have an expected number. You can see that we have the previous consensus and forecast. So consensus forecast here is the same thing, but previous is the one that we've had before. You guys understand how that works. And this is what we expect is going to get towards now. We also have that in a little bit better of a sheet. Right now it's 2.5%. And we're assuming that we're going to get some sort of rate hike of 0.75. And I think that's also put into the predictions right here, somewhere between a eventual number of 3% to 3.25%, and about 1 in 5 expect the number to actually be higher, between 3.25 and 3.5%, and that of course also matches up with what is showcased right here. The majority of the expectation is regarding 3.25. There's about a 1 in 5 chance that people expect it to be higher than that number. And you also understand exactly when things would be bullish or bearish, right? When checking out a lot of the articles, it's actually interesting to watch that the majority of the economists are not even ruling out a 1% increase in the interest rate, even though I would say the consensus is at about 0.75%. Now, one thing I should also make clear is that regardless of what happens right now, we're most likely going to see some very bad, within quotations, over the next couple of months decisions. What I mean with that is, well, it was said earlier that we have to go even higher on the interest rate. And here you can see the Fed may bring target range to 3.5, 3.75% by December end. And most likely that means that we're going to actually see potentially another 50 basis point increase the next month, another, let's say, 0.5 next month, and then 0.25% after that, or something along those lines. We'll have to see. But there's a very good chance that things are going to drastically increase over the next couple of months, which obviously they don't want to overdo, because at that point you get into a recession or you go too quickly into some sort of recession. They want to make it so that this target is as low as possible to combat inflation while still keeping the market relatively healthy. Because the more you increase this number, the higher the cost of capital, the less innovation you're going to get, and the more that your economy diminishes. So what they want is for the economy to diminish just slightly, where, again, there's actually a lot more growth opportunities that come out of that doing it this way. It's kind of hard to explain because, well, it's something that you don't really see quite often. You see this once every decade, let's say, and then even then, the way they handle it is different every single time, because every single time the reason for this event to happen this way is different, and a lot of things matter in all of this. The fact they printed so much money last year is a big consequence to all of this, and the fact that things were already so strange with jobs, and the fact that the quote-unquote WAR is making things much more expensive. It all factors in. Sanctions factor in, and everything factors into these decisions. There's one guy over on Twitter that put up a very simple explanation, but I'd say that most people are on this side. He says, the FOMC meeting about interest rates will be on September 21st. Will the Fed do 75 basis points or 100 basis points? Well, anything regarding 75 or lower will most likely be quite nice. Anything regarding 75 or up is most likely quite bad. And the 75 itself is like a little bit of a iffy-wiffy one, because even though it's a ridiculously high number, it is most likely the adequate number and it is following the expectation. So most likely it's already priced in. And if it does come out, well, as we just stated, it's kind of hard to say exactly what's going to happen afterwards, because it was the number that they projected to be most right, and it is the best number fit for actually combating inflation while keeping the market as healthy as possible. So it's right in the middle of things. I'm going to say just the other two scenarios, so one below or one above, is going to have some very negative consequences or very bullish consequences, but all of them are quote unquote bad. Anything that's happened to the interest rate right now is just not nice. If it's too low, they might not combat inflation enough. Then again, if they think that's good enough, then that's bullish, which is what makes these 0.5 good enough. If it's above, then that means that inflation is an even bigger problem than we assumed, and they can't think of any better way to combat it, and so they have to go for an even heavier interest rate, which people are not going to like too much. Then again, you might get out of this entire shitty situation quicker, which is what people might respect as well. The hard part is asking yourself what is already priced in, but regarding that, I guess we will see. Guys, I have a couple of very cool videos coming out later today. I have some stuff regarding XRP. I have a little bit of stuff regarding Cardano, a little bit of stuff regarding VeChain. I have a couple of cool things coming up. So if this is stuff that you guys enjoy, like altcoin news, or there's anything else you'd like me to cover, let me know down below. And I'm also most likely going to be going a little bit more serious over on the TikTok side with just a lot of these smaller videos, For example, a small little video about Do Kwon, because it can easier just be like 60 seconds or 40 seconds or something like that. I'm going to try to get that done even more often as well. So for that, you can head over to my second channel or over to TikTok. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff is coming up very shortly. Just make sure you are wary of the markets. Things are in a really strange position right now. S&P going down ever so slightly, which causes Bitcoin to go down ever so slightly as well. Obviously, if the S&P picks up, Bitcoin is going to do the same. And right now, Bitcoin, Fear and Greed Index, and mostly all the numbers are not in that beautiful of a position because the S&P is following a downward cycle. If that changes up, and this is always the same way, if the S&P starts to go bullish again, Bitcoin starts to go bullish again. You can keep that in the back of your head. Bitcoin follows this chart pretty closely. Even if we go to a 1 month, for example, you can see, if we put it to the end, Bitcoin is following the similar, very, very similar price trajectory, I guess. One thing you can ask yourself is, this is 12 p.m. Let's see, for Bitcoin, 12 start to drop from, and for the S&P it is 1. I guess whether or not one follows the other or the other way around. But yeah, it's just kind of funny because it looks as if Bitcoin was actually going down earlier than the S&P right here. But this is actually when the interest rate decision came, right? When the inflation numbers came out, that was the 12 o'clock, if I remember correctly. So most likely those were also in unison. And this is before market hours, I believe, right? Or because it's 1. How can I say? Whatever. I don't remember exactly. TradingView sometimes messes me up with these things, also because I go to different time zones, and I always forget exactly which time zone TradingView is then in. Is it the country that you're in, or is it always the UK? I sometimes forget about that, but it doesn't matter. That was it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.